What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. And today is the long-awaited lesson video for JPEGMAFIA's MIEDO, specifically the guitar solo. Been holding out on this one for quite a while now, and I apologize for that. Finally getting down to it, and yeah, just get right to it. Should start off by saying I'm gonna play slowly throughout the lesson, just going through detail of the notes, and I will play the full solo at the end of my lesson just to give you an idea of how it's played, and then yeah, hopefully that explains it pretty well. Just to kind of start off, it's in standard tuning. I play it in standard tuning. It may be in a different tuning in the actual song itself, but I think it's just fairly easier to play it in standard. So just so from there, you just start off on the 8th fret of the A string, and it kind of scales down from 8 and 10. Scales down from the A string to the D string, going to the G string. So, and from there it slides up from the 10th fret to the 12th fret of the G string. And then from there it goes from the 11th fret of the B string to the 13th fret, all the way up to the 16th fret of the B string. So altogether it's... and then from there, it goes from the 13th fret of the B string to the 16th fret of the B string, and it's kind of like a quick hammer-on. So. And then from there, it goes to the 15th fret to the 12th fret of the G string. So. And then it goes back to a quick hammer-on from the 11th fret to the 13th fret of the B string. And then from there, starts on the 11th fret, and then slides down to the 8th fret. So it slides down to the 8th fret of the B string. So, and then it does like a hammer-on pull-off from the 8th fret to the 9th fret. So it sounds like that. So, like I said, 11th fret, slides down to the 8th fret, and then hammer-on pull-off from the 9th fret to the 8th fret. And then from there, it goes from the 10th fret of the G string to the 8th fret of the G string. So, and then it bends a full step from the 10th fret and then kind of back down to the 8th fret, so you kind of doing... Yeah, okay, so you do a bend from the 10th fret, a full step, and then there's a pull-off from the 8th fret to the 10th fret of the D string. So I'll kind of start off from the 11th fret, so it does like... You go back to the 8th fret and the 10th fret of the D string. Hopefully that came out through. Sorry if that was a little much there, but overall it's just sound like this. And then from there it starts back on that 10th fret of the D string, and then it kind of scales down from the 10th fret to the 8th fret to the 10th fret of the G string, and it does it about 8 times. Yeah, about 8 times, I want to say 7 or 8 times, where it kind of does. So I'll play it again, starting off from the 11th fret that I mentioned. So. Yeah, and as I mentioned, 10th fret of the D string, 8th fret of the G string, 10th fret of the G string as well. Yeah, and that's kind of the first part of the solo, and then it kind of breaks, and then goes into what's I think was kind of the more technical part of the solo, at least in terms of like just getting the speed down, getting the notes right. So I'll play this part, and I'll play it pretty slowly. So it starts off from the 11th fret, and then you bend up a full step again. Excuse me. Then you bend up a full step again, and then go back to that 11th fret sound. And then it's sliding down to the 8th fret of the B string. Should mention that was the 11th fret of the B string as well. And then once you go to that 8th fret, you're going back to the 10th fret and the 8th fret of the G string. And it does this sort of It does that about 5 times. It's just relatively fast. But for the lesson purposes, yeah. So I fucked that up. I fucked that part up a lot. So as I said, hopefully that kind of got that across. Again, I should mention, gonna be playing the solo at the end of the lesson, just to give you an idea, to see how everything comes together. But yeah, so like I said, 11th fret, bending up a full step, and then going back to the 11th fret, sliding down to the 8th fret of the B string, and then going 10, and then 8 on the D string. You do that about 5 times. And then from there, it ends off pretty simply, where it's just 8, 10, and 12 on the D string, or sorry, G string, excuse me. And then goes back to the 10th fret of the D string. And then goes back to 8. And then from there, it goes back to the 8, 10, and 12 on the G string. And then going back to that 8th fret of the G string, excuse me. And then going to the 7th fret of the G string. And then sort of hammer on pull off from the 8th fret to the 7th fret. Back to the 10th fret of the D string. And then from there, it goes to the 10th fret of the A string. You sort of do like a palm mute. And then you palm mute to the D string. To the 8th fret of the D string. Then back to that 10th fret. Then you go back to the 8th fret of the G string. So I realized that may have been a mouthful, but I'll kind of play that slowly again, the full part of it. Do that one more time. Yeah, and that's about it. That's the solo again. Hopefully that came across well. I'm not the best when it comes to lessons and stuff. I'm still kind of working on that, so apologies if some things weren't clear enough, but hopefully that helped out. Again, I'll be playing the solo in full at the end of this lesson. Yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed this one, I did also do a lesson for the solo in Either On or Off the Drugs, which you can check out. And besides that, I have a bunch of covers on my channel. Feel free to subscribe. I have my own music as well that you can give a listen to on all platforms. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good day, guys. Take care.
Yeah, it's just with a father. It's just with my barber. She off all of these drugs. Coconut butter, Pierre Carter.